Hello everyone and welcome to the Carcode YouTube channel. Today I am at Lake District Audi to be driving the all-new Audi A5 TDI MHEV Plus. A huge thank you to Lake District Audi for making this video possible and many more videos. It's so exciting to get my hands on the latest Audi models to review. All of Lake District Audi's links are in the description down below so you can check them out there. So this is the car I'm reviewing today. It is the Audi A5 S-Line Edition 1 and this is the TDI model front wheel drive version today that we're testing out with the MHEV Plus hybrid powertrain, which I'll tell you all about. I did review the new A5 range last year in the showroom. You can click up there to watch that video of my full overview, but today is my chance to drive it. Outside, the A5 can be had in many different shades, including this new Horizon Blue, which is a £725 optional extra. Audi actually includes that in the headline figure for the starting price of the vehicle. It's just kind of reduced if you go for the standard Arcona white. There is some different colour options available, including the Ascari Blue, which is absolutely beautiful. New Ascari Blue. You can't get this on the Sport model, you can get it on the S-Line and the Edition 1 though. It's a stunning colour. It is £1,495, but it definitely stands out from the crowd. Such a rich colour that it looks great on the vehicle. This is my favourite though, this Horizon Blue. It's this sort of steely, icy grey blue. It reminds me a lot of the VW Leather Blue that we used to get on the Beetle. It's such a lovely colour and I think it really suits the look of the vehicle 100%. If you want to see more though about the exterior design of the vehicle, I did go a little bit more in depth on my showroom video of the A5 range. This is more about the driving, but I am going to talk about the wheels because those have changed since it was launched. In the UK, wheels on the A5 range between 18 and 20 inches. Let's start off on the Sport model. You get these silver alloy wheels as standard. They're quite nice. You can upgrade free of charge to the 5-arm twist wheels, which I think look great, just a little bit more of a sporty look. Going up to the S-Line, there used to be just one option, but you've got 3 different choices of wheel now. So the standard ones are the graphite grey insert wheels, which look really nice, a nice modern look and not something we've seen like before from Audi, so I really like those. These are those standard grey S-Line wheels with the inserts. Like I say, they don't really look like anything Audi have made before and they look really good. Just a nice sporty design. So these are standard. You can also go for the twin Y-spoke silver alloy wheels, which look like a really nice lightweight alloy wheel to look very elegant on the vehicle. And for a £110 option, you can opt for the 5-arm Aero diamond cut black alloys. Not bad at all. So they're all 19 inches on your S-Line model. Going up to Edition 1, you get these 20-inch 5-arm fold alloy wheels, which I absolutely love. They're so quintessentially classic Audi and they look incredible on this vehicle, really setting the look of the car off while still offering really nice ride comfort as well, so that's great. As you can see, Edition 1 also brings your red brake calipers, which add a touch of sportiness to the vehicle. I really love how these look. To the front as well, A5s have now got the adaptive LED headlights, which is great, including the configurable signature at the top, which kind of it's hard to pick up on camera. It'll be flashing quite a bit, and in real life it's just twinkling slowly and it looks really cool. Of course, Audi are known for their lighting technology. They are the first brand to implement LEDs in a car with the R8, and these look so nice. They're nice and slim and they look so modern as well. It looks incredibly sleek and it should be very efficient as well. But I think that's what everyone wants to know, is how does it drive? So let's take it for a spin. So you can hear the electrification kind of chiming in, so we can see what sort of miles per gallon it gets. These are lovely seats as well with the Alcantara and leather. And that grunty, torquey diesel engine with 400 newton meters of torque, 201 brake horsepower, so it is a lot torquier than the petrol. The normal petrol is still a 2 litre, but it has 148 brake horsepower instead of the 201, which is optional. The only Quattro model you can have is the TDI, so you can have this same engine, but with a Quattro all-wheel drive setup. And we put our foot down now. Yeah, you can feel that torquey diesel engine. It's lovely. It doesn't have that rattle, rattle, rattle diesel effect that a lot of older diesels did have, and wow, this puts a smile on your face. It feels solid as well on the road. So this is actually on the new PPC platform. premium platform combustion. So it's got longitudinal engines rather than a transverse. So this won't be used in Volkswagen, Seat products, things like that. It's specifically designed for Audi for the more premium, slightly larger vehicles. So we're going to see it in the Q5 as well and future models from the brand. So here you have the engine, which does look incredible, this engine bay with these bracing struts and this big longitudinal engine. So what does that mean? Well, instead of the cylinders firing right to left, left to right, the cylinders go front to back, back to front. That means obviously it takes up a bit more space, so that's why you've got a long bonnet on the vehicle. So there's 4 different engines to choose from on the normal A5 range, and then of course you've got the S5 with the 3-litre V6. So starting off with the petrol engines, you've got the 2-litre TFSI with 148 brake horsepower. That's not a lot of brake horsepower from that size of engine. It gets you from 0 to 62 in 9.8 seconds. Audi, of course, always kind of understate their figures, so that 10 years down the line, it's still going to kind of get up to that figure there or thereabouts. You can then go for the 201 petrol turbocharged engine, same 2-litre, it's just tuned to be a bit faster, and that will get you from 0 to 62 in 7.8 seconds. So a much more respectable, faster vehicle. The petrols will get you around 42 miles per gallon combined, which isn't too bad. Going up to your diesels, it starts with this. This is also a 2-litre TDI with the MHEV powertrain. Diesels start off with 201 brake horsepower, 204 PS, and this gives a combined 55 miles per gallon, which is really good. 0 to 62 in 7.7 seconds is impressive, and it feels really fast, and it obviously is probably even faster than the figure suggests. Then at the top end of the A5 range, you can get the same engine, but with quattro all-wheel drive. That shaves off a little bit off your 0 to 62 time as well, and will give you more grip in the wet and icy conditions. So nice that you've got the option. All models have got a 7-speed dual-clutch S-tronic automatic gearbox, which is very smooth. I think this has helped at lower speeds on this vehicle due to the MHEV Plus powertrain as well, meaning it's nice and smooth and quiet during town driving, etc. So that's really great. You've got a nice choice of engines on the vehicle, all 2 litres, so all for that more premium drive and that torquey feeling when you're going. Unfortunately, you don't get any electrification on the petrol at the moment, but this MHEV Plus powertrain is really interesting, and it seems like a great choice from Audi to go for that. 7.7 seconds 0 to 62, but it feels incredibly fast. You'll see this in a minute when we jump onto the dual carriageway. Let's go. So smooth. Now, Audi recently did say that their odd numbers were going to be the petrol and diesel engines, and then the even numbers were going to be e-tron vehicles. But they just released an A6 petrol model, so I think they've thrown that idea out the window. However, this A5 essentially replaces the A4 and the A5 in one vehicle, or two, with the Saloon, which is basically the hatchback like this one, and also the Avant, which is your estate model. You've got paddles as well to do your gears, which is quite nice. And that electrical assistant, really, it is actually quite a powerful system. It adds 24 PS to the drivetrain, and it also is 1.7 kilowatt hours, the battery. That's the size of a hybrid, so that's really good. It makes a lot of sense, right? Because diesel is still the most efficient vehicle on those longer journeys. Hybrids don't really get the benefit, and then this has got the hybrid technology for towns. And this is great because diesels aren't normally that really efficient around town. Because you've got the mild hybrid, it is, and then it's efficient on the motorway because it's a diesel. It just makes so much sense, and I don't know why more brands haven't really done this in the past. There's not a whole lot of diesel mild hybrids or hybrids out there, and it's kind of mad to call this a mild hybrid because it's a hybrid basically. I think they didn't want to put off customers because a lot of people are anti-hybrid and they want their diesel. In reality, this doesn't require any extra effort, and how quiet it is also a huge bonus too. Unfortunately, the 2-litre petrol doesn't have any type of electrification at the moment. If you do get the S5 with the 3-litre V6 petrol, that also does include an MHEV Plus system, so that's good to know. But unfortunately, as for now, it's not included in the normal petrol models. You can hear that electric there kind of kicking in, those lower speeds, and it can drive in electric up to about 18 miles per hour. and adaptive cruise control is now standard, which Audi in the past have been quite stingy with, and still some Audi models don't have adaptive cruise as standard, all the way down to a stop, as they are all automatic vehicles. So you have a 7-speed S-tronic dual clutch automatic gearbox on all A5s. It's such a smooth gearbox. I really like it. I don't really like when you can feel the gears changing on the car. It just annoys me a bit because it makes me think I'd rather be changing them myself. I'd rather have a manual transmission, but this is not the case. You have that grunty diesel and it's so torquey and so smooth. The gear changes are seamless. You don't feel them unless you kick your foot down. You can then use your paddles should you wish. They're not as responsive as in other cars, and they don't let you just pick any gear you want all the time. So you do have to kind of be going at the certain speed that it wants you to go in that gear. So in a lot of ways, it's manual to a point, but it's not giving you full control. So I'm using my engine braking, which is nice, and then I can knock it back into drive. There we go. It's a beast, this car. And it doesn't feel that harsh on these 20s either. And so quiet, because we're just in electric there. And obviously it's self-charging, so you don't need to plug it in at all. Just drive and that's it. 4.9 miles, I've averaged 58.4 miles per gallon, which is incredible, really good. It did scare me because the headrest just spoke to me and said, "Caution, roadworks ahead." That was like, whoa, what's going on? But on the Bang & Olufsen sound system, you get these speakers in the headrest as well. It's running in electric a lot of the time. You can just tell by the revs when they drop down. Now it's just on electric mode. So you can see they're back to the dealership, 10.6 miles of average, 53.5 miles per gallon. That's excellent. Average 17 miles per hour, so kind of town speeds. That's really great from a diesel as well. So on the motorway, even better, you can get easily the claimed 55 miles per gallon. It's incredible and it makes so much sense. So I'm very impressed with the MHEV Plus system. Also, what I like is when you put the car in park, the handbrake comes on by itself. So another great feature. It feels very modern. So inside you got the lovely electric seats because it is the Edition 1 model. It's also got the sound and vision pack, which includes the heads-up display and the Bang & Olufsen premium surround sound system, which is lovely. This one does also have the option of the passenger display because it's the Edition 1. So this is the 10.9-inch screen. The passenger can put their own media on there. They can watch YouTube. They can put Carcode on there, put the radio. They can be a co-pilot. It's quite interesting. It's really quite a good idea. Physical volume knob down here is great. You don't have physical climate controls. They are always on the bottom of the screen, which is okay. You can press menu and it will come up. You've got your wireless phone charger, gloss black down here. There's quite a lot of it. I don't think anyone likes gloss black, so I'm not sure why they've implemented it in. This silver material at the side is really lovely. They could have just put that everywhere like Genesis products. You can literally see fingerprints and dust everywhere, which isn't great. So in the middle you've got your 14.5-inch screen and then your 11.9-inch driver's display. It's all incredibly crisp and clear. Don't have a rotary dial to control it all. It's all through the touch screen. So it takes a bit of getting used to, but what I like is it's big enough to show multiple things at once on the home screen. So you can have your media, your nav, few settings. You can kind of configure it to how you like, which I like. Secret cubby hole down there as well, which is nicely carpeted. Unfortunately, the door pockets aren't carpeted though. They're just plain plastic, but you do have this nice Alcantara everywhere. Not on the armrests, which is a good thing like it is on the A6 e-tron. They actually put Alcantara on an armrest, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Nice premium materials everywhere. Everywhere you touch is nice. It's quite solid altogether. It's well built, which I really like. Also, as I say, adaptive cruise control is now standard, so great feature. And these comfortable seats are really rather lovely. They're nice and slim as well, so they look quite elegant. They're not like them big, massive, bulky ones that you can get on some Audi models. I love this steering wheel with the flat bottom and flat top and the perforated leather. It's lovely. you do have these gloss black buttons. So the volume one is actually a capacitive one, so you can swipe that. Oh, on the sport model it is fully round and you can't opt for a flat bottom steering wheel, and it does just look a bit awkward, whereas this looks a lot better on the S-Line and Edition 1 models for that sporty look. And I like these silver finishes as well in here. It looks great. I also really love the ambient lighting. Change all of your ambient lighting really easy. Better with a sunroof though. It's a bit darker with this dark headlining. On the standard sport model you do get a lighter headlining though. This has got the top view camera, 360-degree cameras as standard on Edition 1. Are very, very clear. You can see all around the vehicle. It's so clear and it's great, especially, you know, for quite a long vehicle like this. Obviously you've got front and rear sensors. You do get a rear camera though as standard now, which is nice to have that as a standard feature. As for your boot space and practicality on the A5 range, well, of course the Avant is going to give you a bit more boot space with 476 litres of it. On this model, which is called the Saloon, but it is a hatchback model, you get 445 litres. This diesel does offer a good amount of room. If you do get the Quattro, it's 417 litres, obviously impacting because you've got the power to the rear wheels. That's also eating more into boot space on a Quattro model, but I think this is plenty big enough for most people, for families. It's not as big as some other rivals. It's not as big as the Skoda Superb, which you can get for cheaper, but they focus on luxury, and a lot of company car drivers go for these vehicles, so they quite often are just on their own or go out with the family as a weekend. It's much bigger than a normal hatchback, for example, so that is good, and I think people will appreciate this size of boot. It's big enough for most people's daily needs. Very generous from Audi is that an electric tailgate is standard on all models, just adding a touch of premiumness to the vehicle. To the rear of the A5 hatch, well, you do have that sloping roofline, so you've got enough headroom, but on the Avant you have a bit more headroom. You've got plenty of knee room. This is up to my driving position. It's obviously quite a long vehicle, so that's nice. I love this ambient lighting in the speakers. You've got Alcantara inside, the inserts as well. Really good materials everywhere. You've got your good quality armrests with the cup holders as well. That's really nice. I love these Edition 1 seats as well with the quilted Alcantara inserts. Just such a premium feel. It would be nice if it was a bit lighter in the back of here because it's a little bit dark. So you can get a light headlining that's on the sport model, or you can obviously opt for the changeable opacity sunroof. That's over £2,000, so it's not a cheap option, but it's really lovely that it goes all the way to the back of the cabin so that everyone gets the benefit of the light in the vehicle. So you also have these pockets on the backs of both seats, so that's good. And you've got two USB-C type chargers back here. This one's also got your tri-zone climate control, so you can actually set the temperature in the back of the vehicle separately to the front. Your ISOFIX points are the built-in ones, so you don't lose the caps. One thing I would say, these headrests are quite big, which is good. They're very comfortable actually, really nice, so long journeys should be great, but it does actually impede the rear view a little bit out of the window, which is quite small on this Saloon model. Sitting in the middle, well, there's a very big tunnel here, so you have to put your feet on each side, but there's plenty of space in the footwell to do so. So I don't think that's too bad. It's actually quite comfortable actually for a middle seat. I don't think that's bad at all. The back's not too firm and the base is quite comfortable. So that's really quite impressive overall. There is obviously some slightly larger saloon hatch vehicles out there that have got more interior space, but I think this is quite a good compromise because outside it doesn't feel overbearingly massive and inside it feels just a little bit bigger than what you'd get in a standard hatchback. What are my overall thoughts on the new Audi A5 TDI? Well, I think it's a great car and just great efficiency. Doesn't feel too diesely either. It's nice and solid and it drives really well too. So I think they've done an incredible job with this vehicle. Now comes the price. It's not cheap. With this Edition 1 model costing from £49,000 with the petrol engine, and this car with the sound and comfort pack and the diesel engine coming to a total cost of £57,400. It's not a cheap vehicle, but it does feel quality and very modern inside. It's whether you're willing to pay that price or not. Of course, most people looking at the leasing and PCP deals available on vehicles, don't they? But I think this is a good blend, and I think it is a good replacement to the A4 and an A5 range blended into this vehicle. It does everything that you need it to do, and it does it very well. Such a smooth drive, which is really impressive, and it does grip very well as being very comfortable even on these large wheels. Again, a huge thanks to Lake District Audi for making this video possible. All their links are in the description down below. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. Let me know what car you'd like me to review next. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next review.